What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to analyze the tape of linebacker Damone Clark, who has looked very solid so far this season. To me, Clark has definitely taken the year 2 leap, but he has to continue to get better. He has to continue to develop. And what's interesting is with Leighton Vander Esch going down, the Cowboys are going to really rely on Clark to have to step up. Over the first 5 weeks, Vander Esch has played almost 100 more snaps than Clark. So for the first time, that's going to change. Clark's going to now have to be that full-time linebacker. He's going to have to continue to do things like this, where he's able to use the hands, get around the block of Kittle, but he has to stay up, and he has to be able to make the play on this one. Not a big deal, just a gain of 2 yards. Still a fairly good job right there by Clark, but today we're going to analyze what we've seen from Clark so far on tape. Fired up for this one, let's get right into it. Check this next play out. This is a gain of about 3.5 yards. But Clark does a pretty nice job in this play. He's going to read, recognize, flow with the football, and he's going to ultimately make the play on this one. There's a lot of moving parts to this play, so I want to analyze it. Starting from the beginning of this play, right away you're going to see George Kittle go from the left side to the right side. Clark is going to tell Wilson to shift over as well as Jaron Kearse, and he's going to have Kearse fill the backside run fit. And from there, he does a really nice job not only getting his guys lined up, which he's going to be tasked with going forward, but more so than that, he does a really nice job getting off the block here of this right tackle. He's going to get the hands right into the tackle, stay off the block, get over the top, flow, and he's right there to make the play. It's a really nice job by Clark to be one of the guys to kind of wrap this play up. Just a gain of about 3 yards. Let's get into the next snap. Check this play out. Watch Damone Clark read, recognize, process, and get exactly where he needs to be to make the play. Really nice job. This one gains only 2 yards. And you can see, once again, Damone Clark's right there in the gap, making plays. And this is part of what Damone Clark does at a very high level, in my opinion. That is find the football, get around it, and make the play. Now, there's obviously improvements that this guy's going to have to continue to make. Right? One of the things I notice with Clark is oftentimes he's not going downhill, in the aspect that sometimes there's plays that do pick up 3, 4, 5 yards, as opposed to 1, 2, or 3 yards. And that's part of what Clark has to continue to improve on, if you guys ask me. This is kind of an example if you guys read the play. And what I mean by that is if you compare 55 and 33, notice how 55 goes forward, 33 goes sideways. Right? 54 starts going forward right away, and 33 kind of gets caught behind him. And generally speaking, as a linebacker, your first step matters. Are you going to go forward or are you going to go sideways? Right? Those type of things matter. And I think with Clark, he isn't as big as Leighton Vander Esch, and I think Clark wins a little bit differently than Vander Esch. And what I mean by that is Vander Esch is definitely more of a downhill guy, and Damone Clark, on the other hand, is more of a sideline to sideline type of guy. And I want to show you guys a couple of snaps of exactly what I mean. And I say that because one of the traits that I look for when I analyze linebackers is their ability to process information. How fast are linebackers able to read and react? How quickly are they seeing that an offensive lineman's pulling from the left to the right? And how fast are they able to kind of get over there and make the ground up to stop a play? And this is a really nice job by the linebacker. If you guys look at him here, he's going to quickly process the left guard pulling from the left to the right. And look at how fast he is to flow over to that side. And he does a really nice job getting into the run fit. And he's going to be able to get off the block and wrap up the running back. It's a pretty nice job. But there's a ton of examples of him doing basically the same exact thing. Take this play as an example here. The 49ers going to pitch the ball to the right, but it's actually a win back run over here to the left. But reading this, you would think the play is to the right. And it's crazy how fast Damone Clark reads this play. Now, the play does pick up about 10 yards because Deron Bland does not set the edge. But when you guys look at this play in slow motion and you look at how the fullback's flowing to the right, how the pitch is to the right, it's crazy how fast this guy recognizes the play. Like, you can see he's already going in there to set the edge. He's really getting in there to try to make the play. And he does a nice job with getting his hands into Kittle. He's in his run fit. Unfortunately, as you see Samuel run this to the outside, Bland's just not quick enough to get there and make the play. But it's this type of processing that I think, to me, shows that Clark definitely has a lot going for him. These are the type of traits that I think are going to allow Damone Clark to be a really good linebacker as we go forward. Of course, development is the key word here. Check this play out. Damone Clark's going to do a really nice job reading, reacting, and making the play. Really nice job avoiding the block as well by the offensive lineman. He's able to slip through there and basically blow this play up. So really nice job. Let's go ahead and get into the next snap. Check this next play out. Pretty nice job by Clark using the hands to create the separation and ultimately get off the block. It's a pretty nice job right there. Obviously, Leighton Vander Esch blows it up. He's the unblocked man on this one. But to me, if you guys look at Clark, he does do a good job. Right, of course, Vander Esch is able to kind of just go underneath it because the offense line is not fast enough. Clark has to take the block on it. He uses his hands here and he uses them well, gets off the block, and he's one of the two guys that's there. That's a really nice job by Clark. Check this next rep out. Once again, Clark's going to see an opportunity, and he's going to just go right through there. That's a really nice job by Damone Clark. This one right here was 2nd and 2. They're going to end up losing 2 yards, which puts them into a 3rd and 4, and ultimately they're able to get off the field on this one. So that's a great job by Damone Clark. Part of what I think allows Clark to have some upside is his quickness and speed. I think if he continues to play downhill and if Dan Quinn blitzes him a little bit more, especially on early downs, I would expect to see more of these type of plays where he's able to get through a gap and ultimately make a play in the backfield. You got another one here. Clark's going to be on the left edge, and he's going to do a great job of stepping up and making the play on the running back. Not anything crazy because he did go unblocked, but he still made the play. He could have easily gotten beat to the outside had he not paid attention. Obviously on this one, that doesn't happen. He's right there, wraps up Connor. This was a 2-point conversion attempt. Even more so than that, if you guys watch DeMarcus Lawrence, he does an absolute beautiful job. He's going to swim right over the tight end, and he's going to blow this play up from the backside. And I love the fact that these guys don't let Connor go forward. Instead, they make sure he goes backwards. And that's a really smart play by both of those guys. Let's go ahead and get into the next snap. Another really nice read by Clark. He's going to recognize the play here, jump the gap, and ultimately stop this play. Just a gain of about 1.5 yards. Really nice job once again. Understanding the run fit, understanding what the defensive coordinator is trying to do. To me, this does look like some sort of a stunt here where Parsons goes to the inside and Clark kind of gets around to the outside. You see the defensive lineman here kind of slant as well. So that's a pretty nice job to kind of play within the run scheme. Let's get into the next snap. Now, obviously, a lot of people are going to question if Damone Clark is going to be able to replace Leighton Vander Esch. The Cowboys also went out and signed Rashaan Evans, and I think it's going to be interesting to see if Clark starts to play more snaps. As I mentioned, Leighton Vander Esch played almost 100 more snaps than Damone Clark over the first 5 weeks. Think about that. 5 games, 100 more snaps. That's 20 more snaps per game. That's a lot of snaps. And that kind of shows you guys that Dan Quinn and this defensive staff obviously believed in Leighton Vander Esch more than Damone Clark. But you also got to recognize that what Damone Clark does, Marquise Bell kind of does something similar. So I honestly expect Damone Clark to kind of switch roles a little bit. And what I mean by that is he's more so that weak side linebacker, right? He's really not the strong side linebacker. And I do expect him to possibly start playing a little bit more on the strong side as we kind of go forward. And honestly, I think he'll be able to do it because of his processing, right? This is a really nice job where he's able to not only recognize that the running back doesn't have the football, but then he changes direction and he runs and he takes a really nice shot at the quarterback. And if there's one thing that I'm very confident in with Damone Clark, it's that he is a smart football player. It is that he understands how to play football. He understands how to get off the block. But the one thing I will have to see from him is he able to play 45, 50 snaps a game? Will he be able to put his body through that and then come in, week out? Because let's be honest, for the next 5 to 6 weeks, as Vander Esch is out, we're going to really see the type of caliber player that Damone Clark is. And today's the first video that we've done of Damone Clark this season on this channel. But do note that as we go forward in the next week, we're going to analyze this guy's tape once again because something tells me Damone Clark's going to play a whole lot against the Chargers. I'm very fired up for it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously, it was a quick one, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with another video.